private lending capital. So there's 3 different markets there that we actually have tapped into. So if your company's in need of some money for, say, 2nd round or 3rd round, or if you're a startup and you need 1st round capital, we actually have people that are in league with our efforts and our foundation that will help you to do that. We'll put you right in connection with those. Now, I had a friend of mine recently who's fairly well off. He's in the real estate business, has a lot of properties, and he decided one day that he would start a fence company in Jacksonville. He thought, well, the fencing business is ripe for something to go in there and innovate and do something with it. And he threw a bunch of money because the guy has a lot of money. The guy's very, very wealthy, and threw a lot of money into this. 3 years later, he had a lot of losses. He had a lot of losses because he didn't have any of these plans. And so it shows us that the reality is that success breeds money. Money never breeds success. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you're going to make it. If you're successful at what you do, which EMF is in line with you, if you're successful at what you do, then you're going to have the money to do other things. Now, and I like to say, I put it this analogy. This is how important planning is. Not just planning as far as the innovation, but planning all throughout your business, which EMF can help you do. In NASCAR, those guys go 200 miles an hour around the track. Every car there will do 200 miles an hour. NASCAR makes sure that they all are the same. Every car there has the same horsepower. Every car there runs the same compounded tires. They have a tool that they set on the top of the race car to make sure that the race car has the same type of wind drag. So what's the difference? How does somebody come out a winner in NASCAR? How do they become the NASCAR champion, kiss that big thing and get sprayed with the champagne all over themselves? Through planning the pit stop. That's how they win the NASCAR pit. All those drivers, they all pretty much drive the same. They've all come from go-kart to dirt track to race car. The difference is planning that pit stop. So what they've done in essence is plan for a problem. They've planned for the issue of the thing running out of gas, the issue of the tires being worn out. At EMF, we help you plan in advance for the problems so they're not devastating. That's one of our missions, is to help companies do that. Now, if there's anything that can be said about planning for things, is it takes a lot of detail. The problem is that when you start getting into details, sometimes we lose picture. We lose the sight of the big picture, right? So I like to say it's like standing next to a wall, and you look up and you see a bunch of lines this way, and you see a bunch of lines that way, and you call it graffiti. This is a big problem, graffiti. And you're standing there, oh, there's graffiti all over the wall, this is a big problem. Sometimes it takes EMF to come in and help you stand back and notice that's actually a beautiful work of art that you've been calling graffiti all along. So what we do is offer you insight into your very own company. Insight that you can use to then make the changes and make the plans that you need to, and plans, innovations, and different things that we help you with. Our biggest asset, I believe, though, is in developing a complete roadmap. At EMF, we're not going to come in and tell you, this is the way to go, and you have to do it this way. We're going to help you develop the roadmap. Our foundation, we bring resources from lots of different marketplaces, lawyers and CPAs and business leaders and idea guys and things like that, internet people and technology people. We bring all those people to the table when we're talking about your company. So when we develop a roadmap, it has several ways to get there. So if you only have one way to get there, if your plan only has one way to get there, and a truck breaks down in the middle of that plan, on that one road, which is usually what happens to me when I go anywhere, the truck breaks down in front of me, what are you going to do? You're stranded. You're sitting in your car, and you're thinking, oh man, I wish I had gone off at that last exit, went to the bathroom, and got me something to drink, because I'm over here dying in this car now. What we do is give you multiple paths. We give you detours. Right? We create the nexus that you can go into and say, okay, I've got all these paths, but we only ever have one single goal in mind. We are singular in purpose at EMF, and that is the success of your business. That's it. There's no other goal in mind. We're not charging you anything. We're not out to sell you anything. We're not out to tell you how to run your business. I know I got up here, you thought, oh, this is another guy to come in and tell me how to do what I'm doing. No. Our goal is to make your business better. That's why we don't charge you anything. A guy that comes in and charges you something is more likely going to tell you what you want to hear because he wants you to pay him. We're going to tell you probably what you don't want to hear when you come to EMF. When you contact us and we have a sit down, we're going to tell you the bold-faced truth, like it or not. Because to be honest with you, that's the only way I was able to succeed in business, is with the bold-faced truth. The truth is, when I go home tonight, and I sit down and I have my nightly bowl of ice cream next to my 52 jacket now, the truth is, I know that bowl of ice cream is not going to get me into a 50-size jacket from my 52 jacket. So the more honest I am with myself, the more likely I am to wear a smaller jacket next time I come here. Hey, you're looking a little bit better. And that's what you've got to do with your business. You've got to be honest with yourself and your business, and that's what we're going to help you do. We're going to help you be honest with your business. But we're going to bring together such tools to add such innovation and plans of innovation, strategic plans of innovation, so they fit well with your marketplace. That's what makes us special. That's really what makes us special. I guess the best way to put this, the most simple way I can put it about EMF, and the reason we came here today to talk to your group, is that we feel like that there, as Dale alluded to earlier, we feel like that there's so much drive inside of the Hispanic community, inside of the African American community, inside of first responders and ex-military and women. They all have tremendous drive. And we're entering into an economy, guys. If you haven't noticed the stock market, if you haven't noticed the stock market playing, you must have been under a rock somewhere. We've gained 4,000 points in the stock market. That's investor capital going into the stock market. That investor capital, not everybody puts their money in the stock market. I haven't been in the stock market since I lost $3 million back in 2001 during 9/11. So most of us business owners don't mess around in the stock market. We invest in other businesses. The $2.5 trillion that's already come back into the economy, with an expected $500 billion more coming behind that at least, is going to go somewhere. So at EMF, our job is to help that somewhere be in some of the most driven people that I personally know. And that's in the African American and Hispanic communities. They're some of the most driven people out there. They've come through adversity. All their lives have been spent coming through adversity. So we've lined ourselves up with those companies to help them move forward. And through just some of the tools, when I speak of innovation, that's just one tool. But through those tools, that's what we're doing. And we have several different things that we go into when we nestle up next to your company. We actually help you prevent competitors in your market. Do you know that most competitors in your market, especially when you start talking about small to micro businesses, do you know where your competitor comes from? He's the enemy within. When you walk in your door, when you leave here and you go to your company, you walk in that door and you look around the different desks and the different people working maybe in the construction company, those eyes you're looking in, that's the guy. That's the guy you're going to be looking at across the table bidding on some contract. That's the guy that opens the store next door to you. Because you know what he did? He sat in your company, he lied in dormant and wait, and he studied everything you did, and you taught him everything he needed to know. And then what he did was he decided that one day that you didn't innovate enough, that you weren't quite doing the job, that you got lazy, and he says, I can break into this market. I'll be the direct competitor. He takes his Rolodex, he goes out, gets a little office spot somewhere. Next thing you know, you've got a competitor bidding on a job, or you've got a competitor next door selling hot dogs. Hot dogs is because I just met with a business owner who sells hot dogs. The Landing, which is where he's at, he's been there for 5 years, and they rented a space right next door to him for a pizza place that now sells hot dogs. And he came to me, all upset. What can I do? I need a lawyer, because I know a lot of attorneys. If you've been in business long enough, you probably know a lot of attorneys, especially if you've made a few dollars and sold a few businesses. I have. You definitely have to have lawyers as friends, right? So his big problem was, he was upset. He said, I want to sue the Landing. I said, why do you want to sue the Landing? He said, I have a pizza place next door to me. The guy rented a pizza place. Now they're selling hot dogs. I said, are there hot dogs, better hot dogs than yours? Of course, if he said yes, I said, I would have mentioned innovation. But he said, no, ours are better hot dogs. And I said, so basically he's advertising for you. He says, what do you mean? And I said, so you're worried about your competition. Remember back when I first talked to you, I said, don't worry about your competition. You have innovation. You have a rollout of innovation that's coming inside of your hot dog business. Why do you think he started selling hot dogs? He saw how well you were doing selling hot dogs. That should make you feel good inside. That shouldn't make you feel worried about the guy. The people are going to go in there and they're going to find his hot dogs are not as good as your hot dogs, and he spent the money to advertise and get them in there, and they come next door, and now they're eating your hot dogs. So you're going to benefit from that. He says, you know what, Forrest? He says, I hadn't really thought of that. That's an amazing thing to think about. And I said, thank you. That's what we do at EMF. We think of amazing things. And that's exactly what we do at EMF. We try to think of those amazing things that's going to help your business This is going to help your business succeed, and that's what we do. We would refer to ourselves as a 300 bowler. I don't bowl, but I know that 300 is the top score in bowling. And if you're bowling and you're trying to get 300, which everybody does, I guess, when they go bowling. I've been bowling before, but I awkwardly went down the lane. Anyway, so if you're trying to get to 300 bowling and you're talking to the gentleman next to you, because he's wearing his own bowling shoes and he's got these cool looking 3-colored bowling shirts on, so you figure he must know what he's talking about. Sir, which ball do I pick up? What weighted ball do I need? You know, how do and you're telling him, oh, and the guy's telling you everything, and you're still bowling 250. Now you went up from 200 to 250, but you're still at 250. That gentleman, no matter how good he does, will never be able to get you to 300 because he's never been to 300. So if you want to be successful in business, you want to be the 300 bowler of business, you have to connect with people that are 300 bowlers. They'll be able to tell you everything you need to go to 300. EMF, we're 300 bowlers. Everyone that we have that we connect with, they're all bowling 300 bowlers. If we took all of our people that we're connected with and put them in one bowling alley, it would set a record for 300 bowlers. Because that's what we do at EMF. Now, in closing, I would just like to thank Caesar, and I would like to thank the First Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, which we think is going to do really good things. In fact, we're going to league with them in order to help them do good things for all of your businesses out there. How about that? And then, of course, the TPO, which has been gracious enough to lend us this facility to deliver my words of encouragement. I hope you take this back. And by the way, I did mention about the enemy within, so don't be rough on it. It's what you probably did, right? Most people start inside of another business. Keep that in mind.